Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki tacatiki. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento patanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Sani levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and I know I'm back a little early, but I actually will be back July the 1st. Normally I take my break because, again, OTAs mean nothing. A lot of these stories that's going on means nothing. And for me, it's one of those things where I'm not going to talk about it because it's no reason to. But the reason I'm here has everything to do with a narrative that is being said that I feel I have to correct everybody on. And that narrative is Terry McLaurin isn't worth the money. Now, from the banner below, you feel the reason I got the banner below saying what it is because it's more about everybody else, not necessarily Ron and his stat and his group, but necessarily everybody else out there who's saying he's not a top wide receiver. He's not this. He's not that. If he does want money, he should be right here about DJ Moore and all this type of stuff. I need all of y'all to stop that. Let's not make Terry feel like Shaq did when Shaq left Orlando for LA. Okay, let's not, that's the first thing. Let's not do that. Next thing I'll say is this. Let's not put the narrative out there that he's not better than a lot of these other guys, like A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf and everything like that. I'm here to tell y'all that Terry McLaurin is actually better than those guys. And I know a lot of y'all are right now saying, whoa. How you going to say that? He's not better than those guys. I'm going to break some stuff down for y'all so y'all can kind of get a better understanding of how special Terry McLaurin is and how much better he is than all of these other guys. So first, I'm going to start off with the narrative that he's not better than A.J. Brown. First off, A.J. Brown, even coming into the league, played beside Corey Davis. And then he also had the top-rated running game in the league. His running back would have basically been the NFL's leading rusher 3 straight years if he hadn't gotten hurt. So A.J. Brown has benefited greatly where Terry McLaurin had nobody opposite of him. And on top of that, never had a running back that's as good as Derrick Henry. So for that, you got to understand something. A lot of A.J. Brown's numbers have been assisted by the 2 components that helped him out the most. Playing opposite of Corey Davis and having the best running back in the league running the ball and basically dominating that offense. So that's number 1. The next person, DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf had the benefit again of playing beside Tyler Lockett. And then not only that, having one of the top 3, maybe 5 quarterbacks in the league and Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. Terry never had that. Nobody opposite of him. Nobody top, no top level quarterback throwing him the ball. Next, let's talk about some of these young guys that people brought up. Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Jefferson. Both of them play with pretty good quarterbacks. And on top of that, both of them have running mates that are also very good. Justin Jefferson has Adam Thielen, and Ja'Marr Chase has not only T. Higgins, but also Tyler Boyd. So again, Terry doesn't have that. So then let's talk about some of the other guys that was in his draft class. The closest thing that might come to him in regards to his draft class is probably Hunter Renfrey. And the only reason that is because Hunter Renfrey basically had the same problem. But guess what? Even with that, he still had Derek Carr. Deontay Johnson, he had the benefit of playing opposite Chase Claypool. And not only that, he still kind of had Roethlisberger, who even though his skills had diminished, was still a fairly decent quarterback. Then you can go to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb had the benefit of playing with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Cedric Wilson, along with Tony Pollard, and not only that, having Dak Prescott as his quarterback. So when everybody talks this jibber jabber about how Terry McLaurin isn't the best, he's not the top, he's not this, he's not that, understand that he has all this production and none of the other things that these other guys have had. Devontae Adams had Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, and on top of that had assistance with certain wide receivers that came into play. Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman. Let's talk about him. He's another one in Terry's draft class. Mecole Hardman had the benefit of playing beside Tyreek Hill and at the same time having the best young quarterback in the league, to me the best quarterback in the league, throwing him the ball. Tyreek Hill, the same thing. Tyreek Hill had the best quarterback throwing him the ball. And not only that, on a team with a head coach who's an offensive genius and an offensive coordinator who's an offensive genius. Everybody needs to stop this narrative that Terry isn't as good as everybody else, when Terry has never had everything everybody else had. Scotty Miller, another one in his draft class, had the benefit of Tom Brady, had Jameis Winston, had Mike Evans, had Antonio Brown. He had that benefit. Terry has never had any of that and has had all the production. His numbers match up to all those guys. And yet and still everybody's talking about how he doesn't deserve $25 million a year. In fact, Terry deserves that and more. Because at the end of the day, understand, without Terry in this offense, we win 5 games next year. He's that big of an impact. He's such a huge impact. How many of y'all remember in the games where he was triple covered? How many of y'all remember that Atlanta game where they basically had triple coverage on that man? They double covered him the whole game. This man does stuff that, again, and he's doing it on his own. He's doing it on his own. Y'all can talk about Antonio Gibson, but Antonio Gibson isn't Derrick Henry. Antonio Gibson isn't like having another guy opposite of him. That's not Antonio Gibson's game. There's been, and then you talk about the different quarterbacks he's played with and still manages to have that much production with no real assistance. So I need everybody to listen to this video and understand that at the end of the day, this is what it is. Terry is that special. Terry is better than those other guys. And A.J. Brown played with Derrick Henry, who, like I said, the guy was going to lead the league 3 straight years in rushing if he didn't get injured. He played opposite of Corey Davis. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Justin Jefferson played right beside Adam Thielen. Jamar Chase had T. Higgins and all that. Then y'all and Deebo Samuel, you still can't compare. Because Deebo Samuel only gets the production because he basically plays running back. Him and Terry are not even the same type of player. Which is why Deebo Samuel wanted out of San Francisco, because he was tired of trying his best to sit up there and be a running back and a receiver at the same time. Him and Terry ain't even the same player. So understand, at the end of the day, Terry is in fact better than a lot of these guys. Think about it, all the production he has had, with no real assistance. And I know a lot of y'all think that, oh, well, that's not true. And J.D. McKissick, first year, he wasn't what he became in his second year. Terry has never had that. Mike Tomlin even said it. Mike Tomlin was like, hey, first and second down, 17 and 24. Third down, 17 and 41. Understand that that's our game plan, because there's nobody else beside Terry McLaurin. There's not a solid running back to sit up there and be a bigger threat so Terry can get open. This man has done a lot of this production on his own with minimal talent around him. And you talking about that he isn't deserving of that? That somehow, some way he's on the same level as a DJ Moore? Are you kidding me? Terry is far superior to a lot of these wide receivers, and everybody needs to understand that. His production has been solely on him, basically being pretty much almost the entire offense for himself. So, for all of you who sit up there and say, well, you know, Terry's right there around DJ Moore and he might be asking for too much and things like that. Terry hasn't asking for too much. I personally feel he's not asking for enough. This has been your man, John Fortune. I'll be back next month in July across platforms now. I'm going to be sitting up there talking about all sports now. And again, like I said, this will be a different thing. But I'm glad to see y'all. I will be back next month after all the OTAs and everything has gone on. Then I'll really get into the groove of everything. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune. And this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.